What is up, guys? It is TheCitrusPanda here today, and today I'm coming at you with a review for episode 8 of season 2 of Haikyuu. Let's do this. Alright, so in this episode I'm going to be doing something slightly different. I've got some clips offline of Haikyuu, of this particular episode, and I'm going to kind of cut in some small clips here and there, try to spice it up, make it a little bit different. This was recommended to me by a couple people that watch my videos, and I think honestly it probably will make them slightly better, if not a lot better. So, let's get into the review. This episode was actually pretty interesting because the past couple of episodes we've been getting a lot of character development from a lot of characters, actually. Not just ones from Karasuno, but ones from other schools, and characters that we don't see very often. So this episode was mostly about Tsukishima, and a little bit about Yamaguchi, but not very much. Really, Yamaguchi got some development as a character due to Tsukishima getting some. And we also learned a little bit more about Bokutsu, or Bokutsu, however you say his name. If you know how to say that guy's name, please leave it in the comment section below, because I probably sound like an idiot if I'm saying it wrong, but who knows. Anyway, so Tsukishima, in the last episode, we saw him on the floor kind of crying or whatever, and then his brother was coming in the room or like looking at the floor or whatever, and I thought it wasn't going to be something really serious, and I was correct. I made a slight inference. I was making like an inference that maybe it is something pretty serious, but it wasn't really. In a way it was, though. His brother basically played on the volleyball team for Karasuno whenever the Little Giant played, and a lot of other really good players played, so that was like whenever it was a powerhouse school at the time. And essentially his brother told Tsukishima that he was the ace and that he was always playing, but in reality he never played. This reality was first broken to Tsukishima whenever he was in class, and there was a kid whose brother was also on the team, and he was like, yeah man, he's the ace, and the one kid was like, he's not really important, but the brown-haired kid, he's like, oh man, I've been to a game, never seen that kid before. So that kind of like broke the news to him, but he's like, that can't be true. So he goes to the game and figures it all out. Now, this kind of contributes to the fact that, it's just a club, and he was thinking that, what's the point, And Tsukishima's got a sort of a point here, but he's also missing that this is an anime, and you gotta try your best or whatever. So, the idea behind this is that what Tsukishima, the way he thought, is you will never be the best because there's always going to be some place else to get. Like, even if you were to become the best in your prefecture, then there's going to be something better, and they're going to be better in another, in another city. And if you get as good as a person in the best person in the city, you've got the country, then you've got, the continent, then you've got the world, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, so you're never going to be the best or whatever. And it kind of makes sense in that regard, but it also kind of doesn't make sense, because I doubt Tsukishima was ever planning to go and play volleyball out on the world stage, but that's regardless, maybe he wants to go shoot, slap some volleyballs over, in America or something, I don't know. The thing to take away from this is that Tsukishima is now unmotivated by someone who used to motivate him. The irony. Anyway, so his brother basically lied to him for the entirety of the time that he was on the volleyball team, whatever, and told him that he was the ace. So he kind of just developed this oh man, it's it's just a club. His brother put everything he had into it, and at the end of the day, it didn't pull off. He wasn't even able to be a regular on the team, even though he put all he had into it, which doesn't make a ton of sense because Tsukishima's situation is a little bit different. They're not like a super powerhouse school, so Tsukishima does have a place as a regular on the team. But in general, after he kind of gets, the sense knocked into him by his man, Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi runs in, full speed, screaming his name, grabs him by the neck, not the neck, but by the shirt. He says, yo, you gotta shape up, my boy. And I don't know exactly what he said, because I don't remember. But he basically, gives him a good slap across the face, metaphorically, of course. But then he slaps him across the face, just with a hand of justice, to tell him that he needs to go play some volleyball. But anyway, somehow that actually inspires him to go and play some volleyball with the captain of Fukurodono and Nakoma. I don't know how that exactly inspired him, but it did. He's like, Yamaguchi, you're pretty cool, man. That was pretty cool. When did you become so cool? He said cool 5 times in about a couple seconds, so that was interesting. Anyway, so he goes to practice with the Nakoma captain and Bokutsu from Fukurodono. Or Doni. I don't know what the school's called, to be honest. Who knows? But anyway, this Bokuto kid, Bokuto, he basically is practicing some spikes, and Tsukishima is practicing some blocks. So in the practice match, after they practice that for a little bit, later in the episode, towards the end, they're having a practice match, you know. Tsukishima does like this big block move. He goes in, he does like a jump. He's like, you know, he's basically got fire coming out of his own body. Like he's got like this aura around him or something. I don't know, because this is anime, so we got some superpowers or something. But anyway, he jumps up to block the ball, and Bakudo, who's this really good spiker, he just like, he kind of gets scared. He still hits the ball away from Tsukishima, but it was kind of cool. I put it in the thumbnail because it's that cool actually. So it's interesting. So Tsukishima finally actually realized, after being grabbed by the neck and metaphorically slapped across the face with reality, he came to the conclusion that he should probably try. And now he's trying. So this was a good episode. We got a character who wasn't exactly trying, but now he is. So that was basically what this episode was about. I thought it was pretty interesting, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Hopefully, it was a little bit possibly shorter, possibly more informative with the the animation on screen, so it kind of shows you what's going on if you didn't see the episode or whatever. Until next time, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the new format, and see you later.